everyone, welcome back. We are having a new moon today in the sign of Taurus. So with it being a new moon, this is a really good time to start a new cycle, to plant seeds in regards to this Taurus energy. So as usual, check your birth chart, see where Taurus is in your birth chart, what house it's in, because that could give you some clearer understanding over where this new beginning, this new cycle that you're having could be starting for you. So Taurus for me is always a sign that signifies Mother Nature, divine feminine energy. It's a sign that's very slow. You can compare it to nature, where things take their time. It takes its own process, its own unfolding, and it's usually not something that happens super quickly. Of course, I'm sure there are certain things in nature that do happen quickly, but for the most part, it takes time, for a seed to become its ultimate potential. There's a process that goes along with that, and it's a process that we have to be patient for. Taurus also represents things like values, what our values are, what we value, because values are things that can change, We have many stages and phases of life where certain things are valued, are prioritized over others at different points in time. So it's always important to reassess your values like every so often, like every season, reassess your values, reassess what's important to you, reassess what you want to be investing into, what's important, that you're cultivating, that you are investing in, what's important for you, what do you want to be a reflection of your life, of you, of what you want to experience, what you want to make room for. I like the quote that says, we can do everything, but just not all at once, and I think that's really relevant here. So it's being able to determine what is it that I want to do right now? What is it that I'm focusing on right now? That I'm investing in right now, that I want to see being reflected in my life right now. Because when we're living a life that's in alignment with our values, that's when we're the happiest, that's when we're the most at peace, because we are being authentic, we're living a life that's authentic, that's meaningful, that's purposeful. We're finding that connection to whatever it is that we're doing. It's reflecting what's inside our heart, again, what's important to us, where it's easy to say that you value certain things, but then maybe you don't have the discipline or the skills or the habits, the patterns to really make sure that those are the things that you are prioritizing, that those are the things that you are in alignment with. And when we are misaligned with the things that we value, that's when, a lot of problems can come up. That's when we start feeling dis-ease, when things don't feel good, or peaceful, when there's just something that feels off, wrong, when there's tension, inner turmoil. It's because there's a misalignment between your values and what you're actually prioritizing and living out, who you actually are, what you're cultivating based on your actions. So that's why it's important to have connection, to be able to connect to ourselves, to be able to slow down and be receptive to what's inside, to how we feel, what's in our heart, to have that connection, that relationship with ourselves, to truly know ourselves so that we're choosing right for ourselves, because if you are valuing what society tells you to value or whatever the social cultural norm is, and that's what you're prioritizing and that's what you're valuing, you're just doing so blindly without connection, where you're getting this external motivation to value those things and to go after those things because you didn't take the time to slow down, to ground down, to invite silence and stillness, and to find that connection to yourself, to truly know, what do I value? Me, my heart, what's unique to me, and have that be something that comes up intrinsically. And in order for us to really be able to experience that, we do have to be able to connect to that divine feminine energy. That divine feminine energy is that very receptive, quiet, inner energy. It does require you being able to connect, which is a word that I associate, with divine feminine energy. It's it governs connection and relationship, to yourself, to your heart, to all that is, to purpose, to meaning, to spirituality, to God. Being able to have a relationship to these things is governed by feminine energy. So we need to be able to do this, you know what I mean? To truly know ourselves, to truly know what we value so that we can align ourselves to those things. and live a life that's like happy and blissful and peaceful and joyful, that's meaningful and purposeful to us. Because again, we're in alignment like with our internal world. We're not out of whack, out of balance, you know, with what we really truly value and what our life is reflecting, you know, like our external world is reflecting. Like they're both in unison, in balance, harmonious, working together, harmonious. Lately, I've been reading Rudolf Steiner, which I come across his stuff every so often. Like I revisit it every so often because it is very complex to like digest. So I do have to study it for a little while and then like leave it and then come back and study a little more, just because like every sentence, you know, has so much information. He has a very scientific way of like explaining things, but I do find it so valuable. And I do see like the connection, you know, the oneness with other things that I study, which I love. Because I think when you can find the oneness in all of the different things that you study, when we're talking about like philosophies or esoteric knowledge, I think that's a good sign, you know, of there being truth there. So a lot of the things that I learn in other areas, it's like things that he says, but he's saying it, of course, like he's expressing it in his own way. But oh my gosh, he has so much good stuff. Like every time I revisit his teachings, like his lectures or his books, there's a lot, there's just so much. So what I came across recently, I thought that it wasn't by accident. Like I think it's very in tune, like it relates to this Taurus new moon, because he was all about staying connected to nature, like staying connected to the land. He predicted a long time ago, back when he was alive, like over 100 years ago, he predicted that we were gonna have a lot of like technology. You know, there's this like energy or entity. It's called Ahriman, and he says that it comes through like electricity, like technology. So things like, I don't know, EMF or electricity, maybe even like the TV or the internet, social media. And he said these things were going to pull humans away from nature, you know, where we find this natural connection, where we can stay connected to like who we really are, to our true nature. Because Mother Nature, you know, and us, like we're very linked, we're very connected. There's a lot you can learn about yourself by just observing and studying nature, staying like in tune with like your natural rhythms. Again, these things are important if you want to stay connected to like your heart and stay connected to your soul essence, your consciousness, you know, like what you are. Staying connected to those things is something we can do like more readily, more strongly, the closer we are to nature. So that's why like he recommended, you know, for people to like garden, like get your hands in the dirt, you know, be more like crafty, like work with your hands, do things that are going to keep you grounded versus electricity, you know what I mean? Technology, things that are going to disconnect you away from yourself, from your natural being. Because he says that this is what's going to turn us like more machine-like. It's like we're not going to have hearts, like be connected to something deeper, you know, to something that's more like truth, in alignment with truth and emotion and empathy, which again, these are all things that are connected to divine feminine energy. So he's just saying like we are being disconnected from divine feminine energy, essentially. And we are being more pulled in the direction of like that more masculine energy. But I wouldn't say it's like a healthy masculine energy. It's more like a toxic masculine energy where we turn more machine-like. We disconnect from our hearts. We disconnect from empathy, from emotion, from spirituality. Everything just becomes like a means to an end, where there is more cruelty that can thrive. What is going on over there? I'm getting distracted. Oh, there's lizards playing. I don't know if they're playing or they're mating, but there's like two of them that look like they're intertwined. And then there's a green one, and he's coming and he's like ruining, he's like cock blocking. There's like two brown ones, and then there's a little green one, and the little green one is like, I don't know if they're playing or if he's cock blocking. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, they're just like hopping like from the tree. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, anyway. So what was I saying? So yes, I'm bringing this up because I just think it's so relevant with this Taurus energy, this energy that's telling you to like be more grounded, more connected, in tune with divine feminine energy, which is an energy that isn't in a rush. It moves slow. It's the energy that facilitates connection and love and heart and empathy. facilitates relationship, peace, harmony, you know, and this Ahrimanic energy exists and is here pulling us away from being able to do that, pulling us away from our nature, like our core, our hearts, and again, turning us more machine like, which I think correlates a lot with like how I make sense out of like divine feminine energy and like toxic masculine energy. But yeah, you have to be careful, like not to go to a place of no return, like be so pulled off your path, so pulled off, like so disconnected from your truth, from what's true, from your heart, from like the essence of what you are, from creation, because then that's that like Ahriman, you know, that entity, that energy taking over and like winning out, you know, and like dominating, which I think is what we're seeing today. So you do have to be very present, grounded, mindful to make sure that you are stronger than it, you know, that you aren't influenced by that energy. And again, you can do that by staying very connected to nature, to divine feminine energies, to your values, really discovering what your values are. And in order to do that, you have to connect with yourself, with your heart, to truly identify what those things are for you so that you can make sure that the actions you're taking are, you know, bringing you in alignment with your values, instead of having like this other energy influencing and taking over and disconnecting you, you know, keeping you disconnected, making you toxic, making you harmful. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's jump into these messages. Let's see what Spirit wants to communicate with us today for this new moon in Taurus. What seeds should we be planting at this time? What themes could be coming up? What opportunities do we have? You know, what's fertile right now for us to try to align with and cultivate something that's going to have a very like prosperous and abundant return, maybe around like 6 months time when we experience the full moon in Taurus. Since it's the new moon, this is like the start of the cycle. So let's see. Ooh. Cool. So far I'm loving the oracle cards that are coming out. We have joy and forgive. And we also have understanding and intimacy. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, I just thought I should show you, we have sweet success, which I love. And then at the bottom of this deck, we have sensuality, which I think has a lot to do with Taurus too, because Taurus talks a lot about like the senses. So sensuality is like being able to perceive with the senses. Again, like being very grounded, very here, very present. I'm thinking about like those people that suffer with anxiety. I used to be one of them. I had severe anxiety at one point, like panic attacks, like all of it. Thank God I cured myself. But one of the things that they would tell you to do, like when you were having like an anxiety attack or a panic attack, was like to ground, you know, to like count to 10, or like to name 3 things that you can see, 3 things that you can touch, or 3 things that you can smell, 3 things that you can hear. Like it was like to get you out of like whatever fear thought patterns you were having and like bring you back to the present so that you can see like, I'm safe, I'm creating like this, you know, in my head. I'm creating the scenario in my head and it's making me afraid. It's like causing me to panic. It's not real though. So it's like a way to regulate yourself and come back and like remember like, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. So maybe you want to try to do something like that, like have a practice like that whenever you're like too far gone in your mind. How many cards is this? Oh, 5 cards, perfect. Okay, let me just organize everything. Okay, so I'm seeing that with this new moon in Taurus, the message is that we have the opportunity to invite so much joy into our lives. Again, like joy and peace, bliss, you know, like a lightness, a light energy where you're not feeling like heavy, bogged down, burdened, but you're feeling the opposite of those things. You're feeling like you're floating in water, you know, in paradise. But in order for us to access those feelings, those emotions, we do need to forgive. Okay, the forgive card did come out like I showed you guys. So I'm thinking like holding on to grudges, or maybe like you don't forgive yourself for something, or forgiving others, you know what I mean? It makes you like hold on to hurt, to pain, to poison, like the poison of whatever happened. Like when you're not forgiving yourself or others, it's you that's carrying that weight. Like it's you that's carrying that poison. That's why it's important to forgive. And forgiving doesn't mean like justifying or that you have to like give someone access to you or that you have to forget, you know? Like forgiving just means like being able to let it go, not carrying it, you know? Being able to see like, okay, I was in this energy. I didn't have the self-awareness that I had, so I was ignorant to certain things. And being able to give like that past version of yourself grace. And or vice versa, like it could be towards another person too, like, oh, like they don't have self-awareness. Like it doesn't make what anybody did okay. It doesn't justify it. It doesn't just make it go away. Like people do need to like make amends, do their part. But you can forgive. Like it's like being able to forgive, being able to see like someone's humanity, where they may have been, their self-awareness, their level of awareness, like, and just forgiving them, you know, like forgiving them for their ignorance, even if they're not sorry, like even if they're still a POS, you know. It's like being able to not carry it anymore. It's like seeing it from a higher perspective and releasing it, like releasing yourself from it. And again, it doesn't mean that you owe these people access to you. You don't have to ever interact with anyone that you think, you know, that you don't trust anymore, that you feel like is going to be harmful to you. You always have to prioritize like your well-being first and foremost, like protect yourself. And if you feel like you have to protect yourself, defend yourself against someone that showed you that they were untrustworthy, then so be it. But you can still forgive. Like you can still learn to forgive. You can still let go. It's not that you're not holding them accountable. It's just that you're not holding like these poisonous, like negative types of feelings like in your heart, because that becomes a blockage, you know, to you really being able to feel joy and intimacy and being able to truly like sink into, like release into success. Because truly like aligning to these emotions is success. You know what I mean? Like we live in a world where like you see people having all types of successes, but it's like they can't ever find inner peace. So that's why like inner peace to me is like the ultimate success. So it's like being able to connect to joy and bask, you know, in the success that is. And somehow this is all helping you to understand intimacy and what intimacy is. You know, like when you get wronged or you wrong people, hopefully, you know, you learn from your mistakes and you do what you need to do to make amends. You do your part. But even, you know, whether you're on the receiving end or you're like giving that energy out, wherever you are on the spectrum, I feel like that energy being wronged or doing wrong, it shows you something. Like it teaches you about intimacy, about like what it is and what it isn't. Intimacy essentially is it's caring about one another, you know, it's caring about your impact, caring, like being empathetic, caring about someone else's experience, being trustworthy, you know, so that a bond can grow, so that there is love, friendship, and just like a genuine caring about each other. You know, I feel like we live in a world where you don't really come across that very often. Like we live in a world where, again, that Ahriman energy is very present. Like people are cruel, people are selfish, people, they don't know how to be intimate, they don't know how to be kind, how to be loving, how to care. So when you find yourself, you know, having these types of genuine relationships or being capable of this is very successful. Like this is sweet success because it means you're connecting with something higher. It means you're connecting with divinity. And I just noticed these cards, the tarot cards, because I was reading the oracle cards so far, but the tarot cards, they're so beautiful. Like they're so positive. This is like loving out loud is what I'm hearing. Like being kind and doing it out loud, doing it in a way that everyone can see you. And it's not, you're not doing it you know, just because you want to get attention and praise and look how kind I am, look how giving. No, it's like, this is just who you are. This is just your truth. This is who you genuinely are. And so people can see that, you know, like anybody looking in on you can see that, can see your good nature. And you can be like a role model for people to show them, like to show them what that looks like, to show them what it looks like to have intimacy, to be caring, to be loving, to be giving, like genuinely giving, to care, to be sincere, to have real, genuine connections with people. Like you're just a giver. Like you're not here only in relationship to others based off of what you can get. What can you gain? What can you know, exploit? It's not about that. It's like, it's not about like what I can get. It's like, I love you. I care about you. I'm going to give to you as much as I can. If I can help you, if I'm in the position to help you, if I'm in the position to give to you, I'm going to. Because again, like that's someone that's connected to their heart, to love. And I'm not even seeing like romantic love here. These cards are showing me more like platonic or like familial relationships and friendships, and like not being afraid, you know what I mean, to like love in that way. A lot of these like dumbass like red pill manosphere communities, what they say, like, oh, like you know, you shouldn't have a relationship with a woman unless she's going to give you something, unless like there's something in it for you, unless she's going to give you access to your body, like that's the only time you want a woman like in proximity to you, like trying to say like that there's no other value there. It's like these masculine macho men, you know, like they want to be dominating over women instead of being like equal to them, and instead of seeing them as humans, you know, seeing them as valuable, more valuable than just their bodies or their ability to like reproduce and clean a house and cook. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to see beyond that. And it's like, we're friends. I care about you. I love you. I want to know like what you want out of life. And I want to know about your dreams and your aspirations. And if there's any way I can help you, I want to help you. You know, just having like a true like friendship and a bond, a relationship where it is very reciprocal, it is very give and take, it is very cooperative. It's not selfish. It's like I'm willing to give, give, you know? And again, it's reciprocal. So it's not like you're giving, and it's unhealthy because you're just draining yourself and not getting anything in return. It's reciprocal. It's like you're watering each other. You're giving and you feel full, you feel happy, and then they're also pouring back into you because they're also kind and loving and genuine and cooperative. And then it can be a beautiful union. People need to understand this intimacy, this kind of intimacy that again isn't out to get anything. It just wants to love. It's like really in it for love, you know, truly, which again is very, very reflective of this divine feminine energy that I feel this Taurus sign represents. It's heavily coming through the cards here for me. So yeah, it's just being like pure and kind and innocent, you know, like innocent in the sense of, again, you're not lying. You're not out to get anything for yourself. You're not trying to gain anything. You're not being selfish in any way. There isn't any kind of like corruption here. It's more like you're being vulnerable enough to care about people and to make yourself available, to give to them, being able to love, you know, so that you can cultivate good relationships, good friendships, be good with all the people around you. It's like you're good, you know, you're good with them. It's not fake. It's not two-faced. It's not surface level bullshit. Like it's like real. It's like, I love you, I care about you, I'm here for you. It's like soul family, we're family. This is true intimacy. It's a bond. It's cooperative. It's pro-social. There's love here. There's true, genuine love here. It's not just like, oh, let me put on a face, let me give to this person so that I can brag about giving, so people can see what a great person I am. But really underneath it all, like you're envious or you're talking shit or you don't really want to see that person do good. Behind the scenes, you know, you're sabotaging. You know, whatever corruption could exist, it's like being able to release any of that crap, like any of that corruption, and not being corrupt. Truly aligning with this divine feminine energy, this earthy, grounded, slow moving, receptive kind of an energy that again facilitates love, facilitates union, connection, harmony, cooperation, care for one another, you know? And I just think like it's really hard for some people to see the truth about themselves, to see how they've been not this way, you know what I mean? It's hard for people to like see the truth, like how they themselves have been working against divine feminine energy, how they've been an enemy to divine feminine energy, like that Ahriman energy we've been talking about. It becomes an enemy to love, to connection, to divine feminine energy. And it's like you have to see how you've been the enemy, how you've been working against it, how you've been putting up blocks, or the people around you, like who are you letting around you? So again, before we wrap up this message, a big energy coming through here with this Taurus new moon, which is right on brand with this Taurus energy, is touching on sensuality, you know, connecting to your senses, to being mindful, to being present, giving into your whole experience in full, you know, being able to fully enjoy everything, the smells, the tastes, And having reverence, that's another big one. Rudolf Steiner, he talks about reverence a lot. Like, this is how you have reverence, like respect, you know, for life, where you can see like the magic and just truly just be so grateful that you're here and you're capable of experiencing it all. Because it takes time for us to, like, it took like a long time. Like, I don't know if it was millions or billions, but it took a long time for like souls, for consciousness to be able to like manifest in human bodies. Like, first we were like minerals and then like plants, you know, and like it took a long time for us to be human. So it's like being able to have appreciation for this experience, respecting it, you know, honoring it, all of it, and just being able to experience the joy of just being here, just being alive, and being able to find like that magic in your everyday daily life. Okay, guys, so that was today's message. That was absolutely beautiful. I'm loving this message. Oh, before we go, I did want to mention that tomorrow, well, actually, when you guys are seeing this video, because this video is for the new moon in Taurus, and this new moon in Taurus is happening on Saturday, May 16th. And it's actually Saturn's birthday, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's Saturn's birthday. So it's falling on a Saturday, which Saturn rules Saturdays. It's falling together with a new moon. You know, Saturn is connected to black, the color black. So it being a new moon and Saturn being associated with the color black is a synchronicity. So yeah, Saturn's birthday on a Saturday on a new moon. That's why I'm wearing black today. I was gonna wear like a floral, super cute, more feminine top, but I wanted to honor Saturn. So I did just wanna bring that up. But yes, that was today's message. I truly hope this message has served you. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, for being here with me today. I do offer personal readings. If you'd like to get a personal, just contact me. You can email me. I'll leave my email in the description box below if you're interested. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to connect. Take good care of yourselves, and until next time, bye.